Okay, perfect. Miss Tokunbo Lawal. She's a former CEO at Crystal Group and is the founder and CEO of Willco, which is a property management company. It's huge. She's a driven entrepreneur whose core ability is in management consulting. And she has several years of experience in facilities management with a proven track record of success. Without further ado, Mr. Kumba, over to you.
Thelma, thanks for that nice bio of me. So what I would just tell you a little bit about myself, and then I will go on quickly into my points. So I worked in the telecom space for about 8 years. My primary focus prior to being an entrepreneur has been in process improvement and then management consulting. I worked top 50 companies before I finally moved back to Nigeria in 2007. I've always wanted to do something in Nigeria when I was working abroad. I always wanted to set up a company. I tried setting up a telecom company in 2000. That didn't really work. I went back to the US and I came back 2007 to find out. At the time I moved back to Nigeria, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to make an impact. So at the time I came, we had a lot of repatriates. Everybody was moving back. And then there was also this noise about the housing space, And so a lot of people were building. At that time, the government kept on announcing the deficits, that we had 17 million housing deficit. And there was a lot of money being thrown into building materials, lots of backward integration. And at the same time, with everybody moving back, we were complaining about services. So I thought, well, I haven't had so much experience working abroad, but I probably will be able to set up a facility management company to solve the issue, because I knew I wanted to be in that housing space. And so I started Willco, which is a facilities management company, primarily a facilities management company, in 2009. And now we're one of the top 5 facility management companies in the country. And so it's been a difficult journey, but a very rewarding journey. And also it's one of those industries, like in an industry where it's relatively unknown and it still has a lot of potentials for growth. So I will not bore you too much on that. I'll just go straight to the point. Over the past 11 years, what I've seen, I would like to just share some of the things that I feel will make you do well in business. Some of them I wish I had known, and some of them I actually practiced. But I will build on, like I said, on what everybody has said earlier. Just like what Boye said before, you can go to the best schools, MBA, strategy, and all the theory, and work everywhere, and throw all that in the trash when it comes to running your own business. I would place running a business with I would say get your MBA from a trader. I don't know by show of hands how many of you have actually worked closely. Please let me know. Have actually worked closely or has a family member or a friend that is a seasoned trader. I'm talking about people that sell, wholesalers, carrying wholesalers, people that sell in the market, distributors, motor parts, spare parts, people, transport people. How many of you actually know one of experience or are very close to any trader? Because can you just let me know by raising your hand? Hands up.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Okay, you're raising. I mean, no, and even on Zoom, like raise your hand. I just want to have an idea if people. Nobody. Okay. Well, traders. So no matter how sophisticated your business is, or complex, or avant-garde, or your business is, you have to look at how traders actually do business in Nigeria. And most of you may know a lot of seasoned traders have actually remained generations after generations. So that's good. They have two people. And everything I say, I'll just relate to a trader. And I got this actually from Ola Brown. I don't know how many of you know Dr. Ola Brown, one of the successful investors and businesswomen that we have around. And one of the things she also said that she got a lot of her points from a trader as well. So for me, the first point is you really have to have a vision and a plan. Even though you must have a plan, you must have a vision, you must have a reason why you're going into the business, you must really understand why you want to do what you want to do. You need to understand that. Secondly, you need to be fiscally responsible. So what does that mean? Is your ability to manage your money or your assets in a way that is productive for the company. I would take, let's say, a Coca-Cola distributor, for example. Even if they're not, then probably somebody that really can't even read and write, or even a pepper seller in the market. You will notice that sometimes they will have rubber bands, keep money for tomato separate, money for atarodo separate, money for this separate, or Coca-Cola with, trader will keep money for Coca-Cola. They all roll them differently. So even if they don't have the accounting software or whatever, they have their notes and they separate the books. So when their supplier comes in with tomatoes, they don't touch the money for pepper. The tomato money must be enough to be able to buy. So they manage their money well. So you must be fiscally responsible. You must find a way to manage your money properly. So it's very, 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 very important. So it's very key. Another thing is that you can do is that's very, very important, is having an integrity. I know sometimes it's very difficult, but it must be very credible to your creditors. So sometimes if you're in the business where you need to supply, where you need supplies, you can get vendor financing. So very simple. Your vendors can supply you goods and you pay them. You pay them. Over via a payment plan. Someone that has done that very well has been Proscaris, who got the Japanese people to trust him. Japanese people are very difficult to do business with. He got the Japanese people to trust him, so that he can get millions of dollars supply without putting a kobo down. So having that credibility as a person and as a company is very key in viability of your company. So I'm just listing this in no particular order, but I'm just trying to state out the things that I think that I've learned over the past 11 years. You must build your network. You must take deliberate steps. Building your network is almost as important as writing your business plan, or as important as paying salaries every month. You must put it into your plan. You must be able to, first of all, audit the network, audit your current network, audit who you have around you, and figure out, look at people that you admire, try and get into the same space, try and join organizations, try and connect to people, go to conferences, just build that network. It's always very important. It helps your brand, it helps your visibility, it helps you to get business. So that's another thing that I think helps. Again, listen to your customers. Most of the time we say we listen, but do we really listen? Depending on the kind of business, we really, really need to listen to what the customers are saying. Sometimes maybe a customer will tell you that I would rather you serve me in via this particular channel, or rather report my issues to you via this particular channel, and you're telling the customers, oh no, this is the only channel, this is the only thing we do, this is how we do it, blah, blah, blah. You have to listen. If for whatever reason, the reason why you don't want, you're trying to come up with a way, you're trying to come up with, I'm just using this example again. You're trying to come up with you're trying to limit the channel for a customer to report issues to you because you feel that it's more efficient. You must find another efficient way to have that customer, to serve that customer in the way they want to be served. So it's very, very important to always listen to your customer and find out what it is that they want. You will never go to a trader and you go to them and they ask you, and you tell the trader, for example, that, oh, I will need your guys I need someone to carry this to the car for me. They will never say, oh, no, it's a policy, we don't allow people to do this. They will find someone, they'll find a way. Even the business owner themselves may also, the business owners themselves may actually carry the goods to the car for you. You must create value. So from the beginning, from when you start your business, you must always be thinking that this business must have some sort of value. You must create value. You must create value in your brand reputation. You must have credible, bankable customers. And so that's if you're having a business to business, if you run a business to business service, or you have a business to business product, or you must find a way to, if you're doing a business to consumer, if you're in the business to consumer space, you must find a way to ensure that you satisfy your customers and able to sustain them for your pipeline projections. So whatever it is, you must find a way to create value in your business, because there'll be a point in time when you look for money. There'll be a point in time that you may decide that you want to do other things. Maybe you started very young, and then now you want to do something else. You must have value for all the hard work that you've put in from inception to date. So that's one of the things that I say. This is also very important, and I think Boye alluded to some of the points that I want to mention here, is you must engage your employees. Employees that are, I don't want to use the word insecure, but the employees that really feel that they found a place in your system, they are valuable, they're more likely to stay longer, and they're more likely, they're not going to, they're more likely to work for you even when the company doesn't really have enough money to pay huge overheads. So they're likely to be more loyal, want to grow, because they themselves are learning, and they see that they're growing. They see that they're learning, they see that they're growing with the company, and they're adding value to themselves. So they will help your business grow, and they will in fact look at ways that your business can grow. So you must find a way to engage your employees. I know it's very difficult. All these things that, for me, one of the most challenging things that I've experienced as a business owner is having the right mix with employees, because we work in a people-intensive space, and we work with casual workers, we work with trade workers and everything. So it's a very, very difficult space. But you do find people who've had very good, credible people stay with us 10, 7, 5 years. So things like that. So you must find a way to engage your employees. And last for me is, you have to be street smart. You have to be passionate. You have to be street smart. And like I said, I don't want to repeat what everybody has said earlier, but one of the things that Boye said is the fact that you have to be focused. People will see that if you're passionate, if you're focused and if you're aware, if you're aware, you will do very well, because people will know that, okay, this person is hardworking, this person is committed, this person is street smart. When you're street smart, you're able to navigate a lot of the challenges that come through. You have to compartmentalize, like Boye said, in terms of don't let one trouble affect the rest of your business. Don't let one issue affect the rest of your business. You must ensure that you find ways. You have to be innovative, you have to be creative, you have to be solutions oriented. There are things that you get faced with as an entrepreneur that sometimes, if someone told you the day before that you will come pass through it the next day, you would say, you probably let them know that it won't be possible. So you have to find a way to be tenacious and always see the light at the end of the tunnel. Always see the light at the end of the tunnel. You have to figure out why. That's why it's always important to know why you are in the game. Being an entrepreneur is not for the faint-hearted. Anywhere in the world, entrepreneurs abroad are facing the same things. It's a little bit more challenging in Nigeria, but the returns are a little bit more. But entrepreneurs are the same everywhere in the world. They face exactly what you're facing. So, so just again, I know people have been here. Those are just a few points that I have. And that's it. I don't know if you have any questions, because I think everybody has said a lot of the things I would have said earlier.
Fantastic. Another fantastic, our speakers are on a roll today. Really fantastic, Mr. Tokunbo. I just took down some amazing points. And obviously the first one is get your MBA from a trader. I understand the importance of that, because execution is really where it's at in business. It's not too much about mind. Having a vision and a plan, be physically responsible, be credible to your creditors. That is phenomenal. I think sometimes we always try to take money, like Ms. Jocelyn said, we always try to borrow money that we don't need, but can you be credible for what you're asking for? Build your network, and the ones you have, audit them. That blew me away, if I'm honest, because sometimes with friendships, with relationships, it's important for us to always look back at who is in our team, the people we have in our corner, to see where value is being added or where we're adding value as well. Another one is listen to your customers. I think that's such a huge struggle in Nigeria. In Nigeria, it's usually the other way around. The owner is always right. So let's not be that way inclined. Create value, engage your employees, be street smart, having street savoir-faire. It's super, super, super important. And I think these points, they are phenomenal. So I said, let me just recap on them, just in case anybody has any questions. We are really pressed for time. We have one more speaker, so we're just going to take one question, because a lot of the speakers have really covered a lot. If anybody has any questions at all for Mr. Tokunbo, that would be amazing.
I think I had different stages in the business. Like after year 3, it's always been having enough funding, because I also am in a space of a business is very low margin. Another thing, and so it's just getting funding. And so what I'll do is, of course, I'll raise, like Boye said, you raise money, family, friends, and acquaintances. And if you have to go out, also, I got loan from the banks. I got equity, loan. And the fact is, you have to be able to pay back. So once people know that you're going to pay back, you're able to keep that pipeline of cash flowing when you need it. So from whoever or however you get the funds from. Whether from the banks, whether you're loaning from your friends and things like that. So from time to time, I do that, and then sometimes we stabilize, and then each time we reach a growth stage, like, each time we need to move up in each, our capital requirements, increases. So we go out to the market to raise money. So I think for me, the biggest challenge has been funding. And I think I didn't want to say that because that's the story that most entrepreneurs will say. I mean, someone always said, my previous boss in the US will always say that if you give a baboon cash, they will run anything, because once you sit down and say, give me this, give me, you just keep giving cash. So that remains the problem. And then for me is employees. It's actually getting the right mix of employees, especially in a people-intensive business as ours. We're getting there. So just getting the right training and managing expectations, setting expectations before they start, and just so that they know what they're supposed to do, and also just finding a way to get them buying into the vision. Those are the two major things for me. So I would like to say that I started my business from scratch.
Okay.
With money from my savings. From very, very little savings that I had. So I started with one project. And so I didn't want to say, I did a few things like first, I was in facilities management, but did some sort of real estate transactions to get money. So I did some real estate transactions. Of course, it's not too far away from facility management, but did some real estate transactions to get money. But it was self-funding, and at the growth stage. And when I say self-funding, it wasn't like I had a massive or huge amount of money stashed away.
Fantastic, amazing. Thank you so much, Mr. Tokunbo. Please do stay with us. We do have more people who have more questions for you. But because speakers are pressed for time, we want to get through all our speakers.